As I scurry through the project's dimly lit streets, my antennae twitching with every creak and groan of the abandoned buildings, I can't shake off the feeling that something is terribly off. The air reeks of stale funnel cakes and sugary treats from a bygone era, but an eerie undertone hangs over it all like a shroud. Frosty fingers, anyone? I quip to my friends, trying to inject some levity into the oppressive atmosphere. Who needs ice cream when you have existential dread hanging in the air? The group exchanges uneasy glances as we approach the source of this unease, the mysterious carnival.
The stench of sugary treats wafts through the air, a far cry from the desperation that clings to these crumbling projects like a bad perfume. I snort in disdain as we creep closer to this monstrous carnival, its lights and colors bleeding into the dull gray sky like an infected wound. Frosty fingers indeed, my antennae twitch with annoyance at Fridey's attempted joke. Who needs levity when there's so much wrongness lurking beneath? Dean fidgets beside me, eyes darting towards Begully, whose grip on that silly pumpkin-headed hammer has tightened into a death grip. Meanwhile, I'm fixated on the creepy clowns stationed around the perimeter of this freak show. Their painted-on smiles seem to be sneering directly at my shiny carapace.
As I pad through the dusty air, my calico fur rustling against the eerie jack-o'-lanterns that seem to leer at us with their twisted grins, I catch a whiff of something sweet and sinister wafting from the ice cream tower. The scent makes my whiskers twitch. It's like nothing I've ever smelled before, a mix of sugar and decay that sets my spidey senses tingling. Whoa, guys, can you smell that? It's like, have we stumbled into some kind of cosmic dessert hellhole? I remark aloud, eyes fixed on the carnival's centerpiece as the clowns' painted smiles seem to grow even wider, their gazes locked onto us with an unnerving intensity. The flickering blue flames casting a macabre dance across our faces make my skin prickle. This doesn't feel right at all.
The carnival's sweet and sinister scent wafts through my nostrils, making my ears perk up in unease as I take a step back from the ice cream tower. Its colorful facade seems to ripple and writhe like a living thing, the flickering blue flames casting an otherworldly glow over the twisted clown masks that leer at us with their painted smiles. I let out a low growl, my hackles rising in response to Kavery's warning about cosmic dessert hellhole. It sounds all too plausible to me right now. Begully's steady voice grounds me slightly as she reaches for Dean's hand, trying to reassure him of our safety. My gaze lingers on the tower's entrance, a swirling vortex of colors and patterns that seems to be pulling us in like moths.
Let me tell ya, I'm still feeling that chantilly cream supreme vibe. Twirls, it's like my tongue is doing the tango with all them languages and spirits. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, smiling face with smiling eyes. As I stroll through this carnival, surrounded by this sweet scent of sugar and magic, I gotta say, I'm feeling pretty confident about our little crew flexed biceps. We got a whole team of supers here. Hobito's got his Rocky Road Rumble strength going on, Begully's all Ant-Man avalanche tiny and fierce, and Dean's flying high with that frosted feather fudge. It's like we're invincible. Poses, and then there's Theru and Kavery. Those two are just a mystery bag of tricks dizzy.
I trudge through the carnival grounds, my heavy boots kicking up dust as I make my way towards our little crew's gathering spot. A colorful tent with flashing lights and an eerie grin plastered on its facade. The sweet aroma of sugar and magic wafts through the air, making my stomach growl in anticipation. As I approach, Fridey catches my eye, twirling around like a whirling dervish, her chantilly cream supreme fueled confidence infectious. My Rocky Road Rumble strength pulses with excitement at the prospect of taking on whatever mysteries this carnival has to offer. Memories of the day I acquired this souvenir-encrusted leather jacket flood back, the thrill-seeking spirit that took me from Mongolia's rugged mountains to America's open roads, trading in my motorcycle for a place among these supers. The smell of sweet, sticky carnival treats wafts through the air as I soar above the crowds on my frosted feather fudge-fueled flight. The Ferris wheel's colorful lights twinkle like diamonds against the darkening sky, but my gaze is drawn to a figure perched atop the roller coaster. Kavery's cosmic cat cone shines with an otherworldly glow, as if she's hacking into the carnival itself. Memories of that day, I traded in my motorcycle for this super-filled life and flashback. The rush of adrenaline as I rode across Mongolia's vast steppes, feeling invincible and free. Now, amidst these supernatural powers and whispering secrets, I'm not sure what's more exhilarating. of discovery or the fear of losing control. As I bank to the left, my feathers ruffling in the gentle breeze, a chill runs down my spine. What Kavery's up to can send us all plummeting into chaos.
The ice cream tower's melted facade reveals a grotesque mass of writhing figures below, like dark tentacles reaching out for unsuspecting victims. I shudder at the sight, my calico fur standing on end as I navigate through this twisted carnival with an air of glowing honeymoons. The Ferris wheel creaks ominously above us, its seats swinging in hypnotic rhythms that make my head spin. My Northern California roots aren't prepared for this kind of surreal terror. It's like nothing I've ever seen before. A zephyr whispers through the midnight, carrying with it the stench of fear and decay. As we edge closer to the Sundae Sorcerer, his sinister presence seeps into my very bones. The scorching sun beams down upon my fur as I slip through the clouds, dodging grasping hands and startled screams. The cacophony of screams, wails, and frantic shouting assaults my senses, making it hard to concentrate on anything but our desperate plight, whatever monstrosities lurk in this twisted world. My eyes burn with the stench of grease paint and sweat as I peer around the rickety green booth, where a faded sign creaks ominously in the wind, sideshow spectacle. Memories of sun-kissed days spent prowling through San Francisco's Fisherman's Wharf come flooding back, carefree explorations with friends by my side. Little did I know then that our innocent romps would one day serve as a stark contrast to this very surreal nightmare unfolding before us. The crackle of electricity from the Midway's rusty infrastructure seems to grow louder, like an ominous countdown ticking away.
The sun beats down on my thick fur as I weave through the chaotic crowd, dodging grasping hands and startled screams that make my sensitive ears ache. The scent of grease paint and sweat hangs heavy in the air, a far cry from the salty sea breeze of San Francisco's Fisherman's Wharf where carefree explorations with friends once filled my days. A faded sign creaks ominously above us, sideshow spectacle, its letters seeming to twist into grotesque grins as I scan our surroundings for any sign of danger. My eyes flicker towards Kavery, whose determination seems to falter in the face of this surreal nightmare unfolding before us. As we slip behind a rickety game booth, I catch the faint scent of melting ice cream wafting from somewhere deeper within the carnival's labyrinthine paths. 2 wheels, 1 heart, endless adventure.
As we dart behind the rickety game booth, I snatch a glimpse at my friends' white-knuckled grips on each other's arms. The air is heavy with the stench of melting ice cream and something akin to despair. My gaze drifts towards the twisted Ferris wheel, its seats now resembling grasping fingers, as they seem to stretch out towards us like skeletal hands. A shiver runs down my spine as I whisper, anticipating trouble? The sound of creaking wooden structures and distant screams only amplifies our predicament. Ugh, what's gotten into the Screamatron ride? Last time I rode it, all it did was spin us around in circles. Now look at that thing, spinning with a mind of its own.
The rickety Ferris wheel creaked in the gentle breeze as I scurried across the midway, dodging jugglers and vendors peddling their wares. The scent of funnel cakes wafted through the air, enticing me to indulge in a sweet treat. But my stomach twisted with unease. How could I possibly enjoy such frivolity when I knew the truth about this carnival? The Sundae Sorcerer's presence had brought an unholy energy to our usually joyous gathering. I spotted Fridey already prepping for the night ahead, her eyes darting nervously between the crowd and some unseen point on the horizon. Suddenly, a shrill call pierced the air. Roll up. Roll up.
Ah, Lord have mercy on our souls. Flails arms dramatically. The Sundae Sorcerer's hold on this carnival is getting tighter by the minute, ain't it? Face screaming in fear, I'm standing here in front of my sword, its hilt gleaming under the flickering lights of the Midway. Theru just gave me that worried look, but I know we got to stay strong for each other. And for the truth, the scent of funnel cakes is tempting, but our bellies are too nervous to enjoy them now. We need something stronger than sugar to keep us going through this.
Vive la Révolution.
The air is thick with an eerie sweetness as I stand before my sword, its hilt a reassuring presence in this chaotic carnival. The scent of funnel cakes wafts through the Midway, but it's overpowered by the acrid smell of burnt sugar and ozone. Nearby, Theru looks on with concern etched across her face. She knows our bond is what will carry us through this darkness. I glance around at the twisted attractions, their faces warped into grotesque grins like a madman's laughter. The Ferris wheel creaks ominously in the distance,
The air is indeed thick with an eerie sweetness, but I've smelled this scent before, on a summer's day in the swampy depths of my childhood home, where sugar water-coated cicadas would swarm around me as I crawled through the murky waters. That place, it was like being trapped inside a madman's lair, just like this carnival. Dean's got that look again, thinking our bond can save us from whatever monstrosity is coming for us, but have they seen what we are up against? This sunshade monster of theirs looks more like an abomination to me.
Man, I'm telling ya, this carnival is getting weirder by the minute. The air's thick with that sweet scent Theru mentioned. It's like nothing I've ever smelled before. But what really gets me is seeing you two gazing at each other in a way that says, you're in trouble, and thinking, maybe our chill vibes can somehow offset the vibe of this monstrosity coming for us. The freaky lights overhead are casting an eerie glow on everything, making it all feel like some kind of twisted funhouse mirror. I'm trying to keep my surf karma flow going, but even the Ferris wheel looks menacing now.
I'm scurrying across the dusty midway, my antennae twitching as I dodge flying debris from a nearby strength testing game. The air is heavy with an otherworldly sweetness that makes my mandibles water in annoyance. It's like someone poured sugar straight into the atmosphere. Dean's words about trouble echo through my mind as I glance over at Theru and his friend. Their unease palpable even to an ant like me who's used to being small fry on this carnival circuit. The smell of sugary treats wafts from a nearby booth, making my stomach rumble with hunger, but I'm more interested in the commotion brewing ahead. Whatever that monster is, it's definitely heading our way. Memories of similar situations flash through my mind. Last year's great raffle scandal on Carney Row, where some sharp-tongued flea outed a rigging company and sent everyone scrambling for cash. We had to act fast or lose face in front of the entire carnival community. This monster thing smells worse than any rigger's scheme. The air is thick with anticipation as I face off against this twisted creature. Its sugary stench wafting up from beneath my feet, like a trap set by the great sugar queen herself. My mandibles are set in determination, and my antennae twitch with every twitch of the monster's massive body. The ratty carnival banners above us seem to mock me, their colors dulled by the sickly sweet aroma that hangs heavy over this twisted land. This abomination has got to be put down, I mutter to myself, recalling the great battles against the fearsome flea of Fear Haven. As we clash in a flurry of fur and fong, memories flood back. My dear friend Scorch's last stand against the infamous Sundae monster at this very carnival 5 years ago. His screams still echo through these rickety amusement park stalls like a cruel taunt.
As I wrestle with this behemoth Sundae monster, I feel like we're right back in that carnival from 5 years ago. Same sticky smell of sugar and grease, same cacophony of screams and wails. The rickety stalls seem to shake beneath our feet as the monster's frozen fists swing wildly, threatening to crush me at any moment. My mind flashes back to Scorch's last words, "I didn't stand a chance." Those echoes still haunt these carnival grounds like restless spirits, whispering reminders of my friend's tragic fate. The sounds and scents swirl around us in a maddening vortex as I strive to hold this monstrous creation at bay. Suddenly, the air shimmers with an otherworldly chill.
Den. I leap into action, sword at ready, person fencing, female sign fire. My eyes locked on that behemoth Sundae monster as it careens towards us like a juggernaut made of sugar and regret. The air is thick with the stench of melted ice cream and despair. Echoes of Scorch's final moments still linger in this twisted carnival playground, circus tent face screaming in fear. I flash back to my own heroic exploits when I single-handedly saved the kingdom from certain doom, and those were just the ones they didn't write about winking face eyes. My sword slices through the air with a deadly whir as I position myself between you and this monstrous creation exploding head collision. The sweet scent of victory still lingers in my nostrils as I stand tall, surveying the aftermath of our triumph glowing star-flexed biceps. The Sundae monster lies defeated, its once towering cone now a mangled mess on the ground, face with tears of joy thumbs down. As I catch my breath, the music from this twisted carnival's calliope machine jolts back to life, a haunting melody that sends shivers down my spine, exploding head, fearful face. The bright lights and garish colors of the midway seem even more gaudy now, like a cruel joke after what we've endured broken heart roller coaster. My eyes scan the faces around me, looking for familiar smiles, but they're all frozen in shock, like statues come to life, Ghost Skull.
The scent of victory still lingers in my nostrils as I survey the aftermath, but it's tainted by a hint of dread that creeps through the shadows like a whispered secret. The calliope machine creaks and groans back to life, its music weaving a haunting melody that sends shivers down my spine as I scan the faces around me for familiar smiles. They're all frozen in shock, their eyes wide with terror like statues come to life. My ears ring from the cacophony of screams and wails still echoing through the carnival's crumbling midway. The bright lights and garish colors seem gaudy now, a cruel mockery after what we've endured. As I take a step forward, my paws feel heavy on the cold ground beneath me, like they're rooted to this twisted place forever.